Hi there. Hello, everybody. This is Natalia Starr, and today we decided to do a video blog for you for the new moon that is coming tomorrow in Gemini. And I decided to do a video blog because I have a guest here with me, Janine from the Guided Path. And Janine is a psychic intuitive and empath. And tell us about yourself. You do readings. What do you do? What do you offer?
I do readings and intuitive guidance. Basically, that's what I do. I get all kinds of things, so whoever comes to me, whatever it is they need, that's what comes through for me, whether that's channeling, whether it's, using my empathy and my intuition, psychic stuff that comes to me, it's all goes together.
So today we decided to do a video for you on empathy and what it is to be empath and how to navigate your relationship. Being an empath, which we both are, and that's how we met. We figured out that we both have the same challenges. We both shared our experiences and the tools we use, how to navigate the world, how to navigate relationship as being that highly sensitive person. And because not everybody know what empath means, Janine, why don't you explain what it is empath? And maybe some people don't know that they are empath, but if we explain, they will identify that that's the case.
Absolutely. And basically, I think what the best way to explain an empath is a person who picks up energy and feelings from other people. So whatever is going on around you in, your space, wherever you may be, you're picking up on that energy and that feedback. And that could be from anything that gives off energy, we pick it up and we internalize it and we process it and then we try to spit it out, spit it back out with some, helpful wisdom, if we can. That, as an empath, I think is something we always seek to do. We absorb, we process, and then we try to give back or put it back out in a way that is more positive.
And I've heard several different versions of how do we become empath in life. And one of them in psychology, they say it's because our upbringing, if we had traumatic upbringing, when I had it absolutely with my father being alcoholic and violence. So when we had this upbringing, we kind of sharpen our senses and we try to feel into the mood of our parents. And is it safe? What they're feeling? Try to have some sense of predictability.
Yes.
And we try to heighten our senses all the time. And that's how we become an empath. Because we've done it since our childhood. We wanted to know, are we safe? Let me feel my parents. What's his mood today? What her mood today?
That would be like on the Myers-Briggs scale, like an INFP or an INFJ.
So they say if you had a traumatic childhood or any kind of trauma, that could cause your nervous system to become heightened. But as a metaphysical, as we are
standpoint.
From a metaphysical standpoint, we also believe that some of us incarnated on different planets and before, and those planets, when we incarnate on different planets, they don't have as much negativity and astral pollution as the planet Earth has, and we used to keep our aura sort of very open so we can merge with the environment, with other beings,
and be open and productive.
To other beings and to the love and higher light that are there. And when we come to Earth, we're doing the same thing, but here we have so much negativity and astral pollution and collective unconscious is very dense. And when we do that, it's no good for us, we get sick. And so that's a sort of being an empathic, being that, that sponge that absorbs the energy of the environment and the people and their belief and their emotions and, sometimes, like me, I need to sleep with earplugs. The noise will bother me. Like, well, you know, it won't bother other people. But again, we're not. If you feel that way, you're not the only one. And don't think there's something wrong with you, because I thought something wrong with me and I was the only one, but then I met Janine and look at that. I'm not the only one, and certainly you're not. So we are those, beings that do process energy differently. And, we need just to understand how to empower ourselves and how to be, turn this curse into a blessing, which is a blessing in disguise, because that's how we do our healing, that's how we do our readings, and that's how, Janine is a psychic intuitive, so am I, and that's how we feel the other person and feel their energy, and that's how we able to help them and help them heal and help them be aware of their energy. But what we're going to talk about is when we do that healing, we pick up the other person, negative, imbalances. Like a lot of healers pick their clients' imbalances, and then they get sick, and then they don't understand, because by picking up the client's energy, I think it's 8 hours you need to cleanse that. So by picking up their energy, you're picking up their biology.
Yes,
and you create that biochemistry in your body, and that biochemistry set you up for the same imbalance disease that the client has. So, Janine, how did you find out that you were empath?
Well, as a child, I always felt different or knew that I was different. And I kind of always just knew certain things, and I always knew how a person was feeling. Even, if an adult would be trying to tell me, oh, everything's fine, nothing's going on, and I would know. Exactly. And I would say,
You know the truth.
Yes.
People can't say things, but
so that is the worst thing I think you can ever do to an empath, is to lie to them.
Empath. Because they always know the truth.
Yes, and it goes against every fiber in our being.
Exactly.
And we'd rather you tell us an ugly truth than tell us a lie or tell us we're crazy.
So, now, if you relate to that, let's figure out how did we learn the tools, and how can we empower you as a being, as a sensitive being, as we are, and what we learned from our experiences. So, first of all, let's figure out how to relate and how to, navigate the relationship. First of all, with people we don't know. Those people that sits next to us in the bath, and in 5 minutes of knowing us, they unload all their horrible life story, the worst thing that happened to them. They told it to us, and then they feel good, we feel bad, we got off that bus, and we just feel depressed. Like, oh my God, I need to go, punch the bag in the gym, or I need to take a shower. Oh my God, or I'm just gonna cry right now. I mean, and you had that happen to you everywhere, as you told me. Yes. Everywhere you go. Can you give a couple examples of those, those situations when people are drawn to you? And because we have our energy is so healing, so yummy, we sometimes attract energy vampires.
Yes.
That actually feed off our energy and take advantage of us.
Yes.
And, because we feel the other person's pain, it's almost like we feel our own pain. And we immediately want to jump and help and rescue them. And sometimes, even when we want to do it, when it's not needed, when it's not received well by the other person.
That is the thing. There's so many dynamics.
With that energy, yeah.
A lot of people, whenever I'm out and about, anytime I'm in a crowd, there's at least one person who's going to come up to me, start talking to me, then the next thing I know, they're telling me all these, things that are going wrong in their life and upsetting them, and then I'm kind of trying to help them and guide them and really just listen, because sometimes people just need someone to listen. You can't fix everybody, but you learn these things as you go along. But as empaths, we naturally want to heal. We don't want to see people feeling that way. We want to offer something for them to make that better. And there are some people who just really need to release. Then there are some people who push the line, and it goes into an energy vampire type of a thing.
But also somebody who doesn't know you, starting, I don't think that's even appropriate, to unload all their life story with all that, horrible things that happen to them. Because then you feel bad, the other person feel good, but there is no energy exchange in that way. Your time, as you said, sometimes maybe you have a million things to do, and you sit there and listen to them for an hour or two. And, in this way, you're being taken advantage of. And talking about boundaries, and your energy must be appreciated and, received well. So I think the best way to deal with people and people are drawn to us everywhere we go, and the best way to deal with them is give them our business card and say, look, this is great. This is what I do for a living, and if you'd like to set up an appointment, please give me a call, and I would love to listen to you and help you as much as I can. So, and at this time, I have other things to do, and I need to go. I have a meeting, an appointment, whatever you need to do, and in this time, when they come back to you, and they pay you for your services, in this way, you are being, there's an energy exchange. So your energy and your healing and your service being appreciated, and, you don't feel as bad. Although still, you would need to do an energy cleanse after that. And let's talk about that, Janine. Like, if even we don't talk to people, when we, sometimes like
are out in public or just
out
around
in public,
people
we
in
feel
general.
Unzipped, like in the crowd, in the bus, in the subway. And I used to, ride a bus, and back then I didn't know that I was empath. And after that, I would get so depressed, and I feel worried, and I feel worried about my finances, and I feel really, so vulnerable, and I didn't know what's going on with me. And now I know, because each time, the bus is very small space, and we sort of our subway, and we are close to each other. So every time you are within 4 feet to another person, you are moving into resonance with their heart.
Yes.
So if your heart is stronger, which is like your frequency, your vibration is higher, and you are stronger in your vibration, you will pull the other person to move into resonance with you. But if their heart, their frequency is stronger, maybe they're angry, maybe they're depressed, and you not strong in your energy, you will be moved into resonance with them. If they're both strong, but so opposite, like you are in absolute bliss, you like, well, maybe not absolute bliss, but you feel good, and you're not willing to move into resonance with them, so you basically will separate. You will be repelled by each other. So anytime, in the bus, in the subway, you're within 4 feet, you can move into energy with somebody else. So what do we do? How do we clean ourselves?
I think as an empath too, we naturally pick up other people's vibration, whether that's higher than ours or lower than ours. That's just part of who we are and what we do and how our energy works. So we pick up things from everywhere. Sometimes it's hard to identify if that's originally stemmed from us or if we got it from something else, something going on around us. And it can sometimes take years to get to a point where you can start to notice and distinguish that more efficiently and more effectively. But regardless of how we come to feel like that, the most important thing, one of the most important things for an empath is to be able to release that, to find the time, to go into our quiet time, to go into meditation, whatever it is that makes you feel relaxed and helps you release the remains of the day or whatever you're taking on from other people. That is so very important to keep yourself renewed so you can go out there again, because guaranteed day after day the life of an empath is bombarded with taking on everything around them, the burdens around them, people don't even realize, I have some of my friends will text me all the time.
And we're going to talk about that in a minute. So that's what we do, whatever works for you. If it's saging, sometimes, coming home and sage yourself if you've been too exposed to a crowd and you came in and you don't feel so good after that. Or sometimes, even taking a shower is a good thing, water is cleansing. What else can we do? Sometimes sound healing.
You can do sound.
Clear your vibration. Crystals and, just even awareness that you have picked up something else that is not yours is already giving you that option, to release that. Just doing some, deep breathing exercise or qigong and just move that energy out of your body. And like, this does not belong to me, because
it's not serving me.
Yeah, it's not serving me, and I'm just going to let that go now. And I have, it happens to me, after talking to people, and I see that, there's a program that I picked up from the other person, and I see it as a program in my field, right? Like a small, like a worm, like a worm got infiltrated in my field, and it doesn't feel like, why doesn't feel so good? I'm like, something in my energy doesn't feel good. So I find that thing. I'm like, oh, I found that. That someone told me that, and that belief or that opinion is not mine. I don't own it. I don't want to own it because I don't want to
resonate with it.
Yes, I don't resonate with that. I don't want it to become part of my creation. So I'm going to let that go. I'm going to release that, and then I feel good again. So okay, that's with people we don't know. So now, how do we do with friends and people we do know? And as you were talking about people texting you and 2 o'clock in the morning or calling you.
Yes, I was speaking about that one day.
Tell us a couple examples about that.
A lot of times I'll have a million people texting me through the day. It'll be my friends. Maybe it'll be some of my clients that I'm close to that I've been reading for a long time who have become like friends to me. And they're all texting.
A line between client and friend.
Or trying to get. Now, I also have a job to do. I also have a mother who is ill, who I'm also taking care of. So when I'm not working, I have that in the background in between. Plus all this other stuff going on. And people seem to tend to forget that they're not the only person.
Yeah.
They kind of think you're just sitting
that's
there.
That's a narcissist. That's an energy vampire.
That you're just kind of, that is an energy vampire.
And that's where
they all kind of think you're just sitting there with nothing else to do and answer them. And why aren't you answering me? And there have been times too that I may have had something going on in the morning that I needed to be ready for and well rested for and to go do. And I'll have a friend who is going through something or having a difficult time. And here I am staying on the phone with them till 5 o'clock in the morning, while they're venting and letting this out and
5 o'clock in the morning. Oh my gosh.
Meanwhile, I have to be up at 7 to start getting ready for whatever it is I have to go do that day. And then I'm there tired, not functioning properly, then picking up energy from the people there and trying to process that. So we do carry a lot on our shoulders, and we won't often tell people, that, okay, well, not only am I listening to and trying to help bear your burden, but I have so-and-so's and this one's and that one's and this one and the one down the block and the person that I pass every time I'm on my way to the office, and, put any name on it that you want, but this is what goes on in the life, of an empath, and we try to
be everything to everybody, but it doesn't work.
Yes.
Because
we try to bear as much as we can, but there comes a point where we have to cut off too. And I've been in situations where I will be up, falling asleep, have something very important to do the next morning, up till 5 o'clock in the morning. But then when I'm going through something, those same people will say,
here you go.
oh my God, Janine, I'm so tired. I need to go to bed. I'm sorry, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
So they're not there for you when you need them.
This is what an empath finds out very quickly. Not everybody has the same emotional stamina that we have and could bear as much as we have, or will sacrifice as much as we will to be there for somebody and to help them. And that can sometimes, that's when it starts to feel like a curse. Aside from the fact that we do pick up things, we do know when something is off, when something isn't right. If someone is lying to us and trying to tell us they're not lying to us, these are all very damaging to an empath because we don't understand all of that, any of that. We understand it, but it doesn't resonate with us and who we are as people, so it's difficult for us to accept and swallow, which again causes us to need to cleanse and heal ourselves. And we learn quickly that nobody's going to help us do that. We need to do that ourselves, and so it's very important.
So do your energy hygiene.
Yes, definitely.
Don't forget, even when you are with your friends. And, you know, again, it comes to boundaries. You know, even with friends, if you have friends that drain you out of energy and technically, suck your brain through your nostrils, you know, you gotta put boundaries with them. Or even think, do you need that kind of friends that only takes advantage of your time and, you know, disregards if you need to do something and, you know, basically having a good boundaries is the key to, you know, saying, no, I actually have something to do right now, you know, I can't help you at this moment. And
I think as empaths, it's very important to allow ourselves to have those boundaries. Because again, we're the type of people who want to help, who want to listen.
We want to help all of our friends.
Who want to help make things better, who don't want people to feel that way, who know that by letting people release that stuff, it raises the vibration of the whole universe.
But there is one thing that's important to address. Not everybody wants to be helped. No. So not always our help is received. And when it's not received, we actually lose energy in that moment. So if we give, so technically, when somebody comes to us and asks for our help, and we help, we empower them, we actually empower them to help themselves at the end of the day. But if somebody comes to us all the time, asking for our help, you know, calling us every day, friend, I'm this. So we enabling them being in a state of a victim, and, you know, they reinforce their belief that they are the victim, and so they're not helping themselves. So sometimes, you know, you need to understand, is your help being received? Is that person take your help and helping themselves, or it's just only feeding on your energy?
Or are they using you as a crutch?
Yes, you know, and at the end of the day, those you're not helping, and not everybody want to be helped. You know, don't run to people and jump to help them if they didn't ask you for it, because in this way you are losing your energy. They're not receiving it. They don't want it, and you're wasting your time.
And that's something we were speaking about earlier too, Natalia, when we were talking about the fact that some people, when you shadow or mirror, or you try to help them or point things out, they don't want to see that. They're not ready to see that. And you cannot make somebody do anything.
No,
you know,
of course.
If that's...
They're not at the level where they can see or they can understand that. And that's okay. You know, not everybody at your level.
And even in our, you know, our own personal relationships, are there things that we would like somebody to do or hope that they would do? Yes. But they're not us and we're not them, and we can't make them and we can't expect them to. So we have a choice. We can walk away from that which does not resonate with us.
Yes.
Or we can accept it and them for who they are and hope that they will grow and learn as well. and we learn the things that we need to learn too. But the point of the matter is, you can't change another person, and you can't make another person see something, and
unless they want to be helped. You can't help them.
And so
it's better to walk away.
Your choice is to accept them unconditionally as they are, or remove yourself from the situation because you know it's not going to serve you, that it's not going to resonate with you, and they've shown you that they're not on that same level and they're not willing to do the thing that will resonate with you. So you just have to remove yourself, unfortunately, and that's a difficult thing.
It's a difficult thing. It's difficult when what happens, when you grow and your friends don't. There's the gap between two or whatever, your friends and you is continually increasing, and at some point you would run things to speak about because you're here and they're still there. So you will naturally, separate because there's not too much things to talk about. There's no more common values, and it's okay to let people go, and then meet new friends that match more your current level of development, your current frequency, And that leads me to intimate relationship, Janine. Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
So how do we attract a healthy partner that respects our boundaries? How do we attract a healthy partner being an empath as we are?
The way to do that, and this is the way for anybody. First of all, you have to embrace who you are, and you have to know who you are on your own. Anybody who's going to try to enter into a relationship with somebody else where they then take on that other person's wants, needs, and desires and all that kind of stuff, you're not setting out on a healthy ground to begin with. So first of all, you have to come in to a relationship where you are developed enough on your own and okay enough to stand on your own and stand your own ground and stand up for the things that you believe in. If you start conceding everything that resonates with you and everything that's a belief, and we may hold some beliefs that are wrong, or we may hold some beliefs that we don't even realize we need to change until we see that in the mirror from the other person and we learn and grow from them, through them, and with them. But if that's not happening, we need to be able to stand up for ourselves and say, you know what? Yes, I care about you. Yes, I worry about you. Yes, I want you to be okay, but I need to be okay too. And so if that's not going to happen and that's not going to work, and I'm taking abuse or I'm bearing your burdens, because it's very true that empaths
we want to heal. We want to heal our partners. Oh my God, you got an issue. I can help. Me, pick me, please. I'll be your healer.
We very often attract narcissists.
Yes.
Because narcissists are attracted to and
narcissists are energy vampires.
Yes. They cannot see the world. They are the opposite of empath. They are people who cannot see the world really so much outside of themselves. Even if there are some who are more highly involved and they can, in a collective sense, get these notions. When it comes down to it, and when there's a problem, and this is when you'll notice it the most, this is your red flag. When you are with somebody and you notice when there's a problem, it's all about them and how they feel and how it's affecting them.
Yeah, exactly. And I had that relationship.
Yes. That's when you know.
Yeah.
This is not a
Get
mutual.
Out as soon as you can.
Run.
Leave.
Don't walk.
Leave.
Run.
If it's all about them and everything, it's never about you and your needs, get out. And last time, Janine, we talked about twin flames, and I would like you to share your point of view about being an empath, attracting a twin flame, and how do we manage that relationship?
Yes, and that is another interesting thing with a twin flame, and there's so much out there now about twin flames. Not everybody is a twin flame, but Natalia and I were talking the other day, and I had said to her that I think oftentimes in the twin flame relationship, because a twin flame is supposed to be, or is said to be, the same soul but separated in different bodies. So one embodies all these certain characteristics, and the other side has the other characteristics, and then together they make a whole person. But the thing that I'm starting to notice, and again, this is a journey. Always, life is a whole journey. You're continuing to learn. You're continuing to improve. You're continuing to upgrade. And what I've recently, been discovering for myself is that sometimes, or most of the time, there's one twin who is more of the light side, who is more of the fully awakened, the person who wants to bear the burden, the person who's more positive and that kind of thing. And then you have the other side that's more the shadow self, that's more those deeper recesses of the soul and of the person that both people actually share. And these things can cross, and they very do, because you are really the same person, but you're emanating the different sides of that same person. So one may resonate the shadow side of that, and the other the light side of that. So there's a lot of mirroring going on. And, sometimes we look at it whereas a person who's embodying the light essence of that soul has more to teach the shadow, but it's really, a lot of times, very mutual, and very much the shadow side is teaching the light side so much more than what they think they need to know. But once that process is healed, because that relationship always goes through the process of where it starts off where all of the things about you that are in common, that are in sync, that come together so beautifully, that create this energy and this feeling and this connection between each other that you've never felt before with anybody, and everything seems like so much more on a higher level. It has to come to that high to show you what you can achieve, and then it has to be broken down again. But it has to be built up to that height level at first, so that once it's broken down and you heal the last remainders of those shadows within yourselves, that you can withstand that process to come back together as a whole and reach that height again. Now where you can soar with it, you get a taste of it in the beginning, then it breaks down again, you do your final healing, and then you come back together as one, and now you rise to an even greater height, like a phoenix from the ashes, which is oftentimes a symbol that people use when they talk about twin flames.
Yes, and also I would say twin flame, they're really like your shadow, and I wrote a blog about shadow recently. So the other person, when you're in a strong relationship with the other person, that person mirrors your shadow. So you feel like that guy or that man or that woman brings up the worst in you.
Right.
Like, how come you bring up the worst?
Triggering you.
All insecurities, all the buttons get pushed. Everything comes out, and you thought, I thought I dealt with that already.
And
I
how
thought I
could
healed
I
that.
love you so much and want to strangle you?
I love you so much. I want to strangle you. But you brings the worst in me, How come I love you and you bring, that person mirrors your shadow. Those unhealed pieces of you, those unprocessed, those pieces that you're not aware, that deeply buried in your subconscious. So if you feel that person brings up your insecurities, your doubts, am I good enough? Am I worthy of that? You don't feel you're beautiful enough, or you don't feel you're wealthy enough, or whatever aspect it brings inside of you. And also, the longer you're in a relationship, the more shadows that person mirror, the more crap is going to be brought up from your subconscious. So instead of, and that's why most relationships, they, don't last, as soon as, the honeymoon period is over, and then the shadow work comes in, they're out of it. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to look at my stuff. I want to run. I don't want to deal with it. This is painful. That those memories, those feelings are so deep. They don't want to feel. But sometimes maybe it's better to not always to remain in the relationship. Sometimes it is the relationship. The purpose of the relationship is for you to heal. And so many relationships are actually for it's our the partner is our mirror and a teacher. And it's not about a relationship. It's actually about you healing your stuff. So instead of blaming the other person and being always, oh, he did that, and maybe sometimes look at yourself and, oh, well, why do I feel that? Maybe there's something I need to look at. Maybe there's something I need to heal,
And that's the thing with blame. You can't really blame another person, Gemma. Yes, sometimes people do crappy things. Things that weren't very nice, things that may be deceitful, things that hurt you. But you know what? If you keep going back for more, you're allowing that. You're allowing that behavior. You're taking away, you're giving away your value and your power, and you're lowering your vibration to stay in a situation that you don't like and that doesn't resonate with you. Now, yes, it's kind of tricky with the twin flame connection because the connection is so deep and so strong, and you're so drawn to them. And there's something inside of you that knows this needs to take place.
Yes.
That knows that
it will happen.
They need to learn this from that, and I need to learn this from this. And, you kind of know when it's time to walk away. And sometimes it takes walking away in order to create the change, because they need to see, okay, well, this was not the outcome I wanted to this, and so I need to change something or learn that when I do this, it's not going to give me the result that I ultimately want.
And also being an empath and having a relationship as an empath, you always want to be becoming aware of your boundaries with people, even if it's an intimate partner. So if you just, let's say in the beginning of a relationship, if that person, if you go out, right, on a date and you say, oh, I need to be back home by 10 o'clock because I need to go to bed, and that person will tell you, oh, you sleep when you die, or oh, why you need to sleep, I don't go to bed until 2 in the morning, or whatever reason he gave you, oh, it's okay, you'll manage with 4 hours of sleep. That means that person invalidates your needs. If he invalidates your need right from the get-go, you don't want to go any further. So you can imagine what it's going to be like, further on. So
when a serious thing
see these red flags before when it gets to you, when you're deeply invested. So knowing that the person invalidates your need at the beginning is already a red flag, and then it's going to be like this, the relationship not going to work. So before investing your time and energy, just walk away. And, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you know that you are absorbing his stuff. And let's talk about, let's talk about sex, and let's talk about empathic. How do we pick up energy? With an intimate partner, things become intensified stronger. Because, first of all, you share the common space together, you are in each other's space. And also, if you live together, or when you having sex with the other person, there is a strong energy in exchange, happens through the lovemaking, because in the lovemaking, you open yourself up to absorb his energy, he's absorbing your energy. So in that way, there is a cord between two lovers. There's always a cord exists. Sometimes it's between belly buttons, in between first, second chakra. Sometimes it's heart to heart. Sometimes there are multiple cords. So in this cord, the energy there's always an energy exchange. Mm-hmm. So you feel each other. You can be on the other planet, on the other side of the planet, right? But you can feel the other person right here in your space. And because there's always, the cord is etheric, it's not physical, but it exists. And
it's an energetic
yes,
strand.
and the distance is irrelevant. So there's always an energy exchange between the two of you, and you sometimes don't need to talk about. But let's say when you go home, let's say you've been at work and your coworker pissed you off, right? And you go home and you forgot about it because there is no cord. You was mad at work. You come home, you forgot about it.
Right.
But with your lover, when he pisses you off, or when there is fight, or there is the tension, or something happened, it doesn't matter how far you are. You can go home, you can go anywhere. It's still here because of the cord. So that always stays within your energy. And also, when you have sexual energy interchange, you're swapping energy, you absorbing whatever your partner level of consciousness is.
Yes.
You're absorbing his fears, you're absorbing his doubts, his belief, his projection, if he has anger, if he has depression. So you absorbing, being an empath, you are highly sensitive. So you sponging all that energy, and then you circle it within yourself. And sometimes, you have his projection. Sometimes, like with my ex-boyfriend, I didn't know why I couldn't believe in myself. I had all these doubts and fears, and I was like, what's going on with myself? Until I realized I was absorbing his energy and I didn't know about it, So you need to be able to be aware of what kind of imprint you got from your boyfriend or a lover or a husband. Even if it's your husband, getting his negative energy is not good for you, So being able to clean that, and by cleaning it, becoming aware that you have it, you already start to process and clean it. Yes. So what would you say about this topic about, our, sexual interchange with our partner?
See, and that's the thing. I think as an empath, and especially as we get older and more developed and more aware, we're much more choosy about who we are intimate with and who we choose as a partner and who we let into our sacred space. We begin to, and I think empaths naturally gravitate towards this as they get older and as they become more awake and aware. We gravitate towards remembering our divine feminine and our goddess within, because that is who we are meant to be, and we have to honor that. We have to be who we are, and we have to let that remain sacred, because if you let, these things into your vibration field, it has to serve you, because if it doesn't, and it's lowering you down.
Yep, continue on.
If it's lowering you're settling for less, it's just not going to serve you. It's going to keep your energy down. You're going to absorb these negative things from your partner. So you want to make sure that you're with a partner who is aware.
Yes.
And when you will find, when you do that, the sex will be so much better. It'll be so much more open. It will take you to another level because you're both aware. Neither one of you are stuck in something where who's thinking about what's going on at work, or a problem that they're having, or, any number of things. But sex is such a strong energy, it's such a strong magic, it's such a
very
strong creation.
You will be having this, you will be carrying his energy for a very long time. Because the cord, if you separate with your partner, make sure you clean that cord as well. And so we have other things to talk about that I wanted to touch on, but probably we're going to do it next time. And this is it for tonight, for today. We hope you like this video and you got some things out of it. You're going to implement it, and we are wishing you a good night. And Janine, if anybody wants to get a reading from you, can you tell them how to find you and what's your contact?
Well, yes, you can contact me at moonstone.moods@gmail.com. That's MOODS_STONE. No, it's not. Moonstone. Yeah, it's Moonstone is one word. MOONSTONE_moods MOODS@gmail.com. Sorry about that. I'm still thinking about the sex. But yes, if anybody is interested in having a reading or intuitive guidance, please feel free to get in touch and contact. We're here to help. That's what we do. That's what our life purpose and goals are. So absolutely.
And this is the part 1 of this empath, navigating your relationship as an empath. So we're going to do a part 2 a little later, and we'll let you know when it's ready. All right, everybody, have a good night.
Thank you.